Stephen Ramos. Stephen Ramos. Stephen Ramos, come to the front.
We are started. First off, Mitchell, David, Leah, Chris. And before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to say a quick thanks to someone special here. Dan Dickinson. You don't know him, he's not on the posters. But for the past 7 Pecha Kuchas, he has showed up with recycling containers. And at the end, he recycles it. He takes it away. Makes the world greener. And it's just one person, Dan Dickinson. When I asked him if I wanted to say something special, to thank him, and he said to let you guys know that the new plastic wine cups are now recyclable in Charleston. So, don't throw them in the trash anymore. Recycle them with Dan Dickinson. Now let's begin. A lot of times design's used to make something prettier, to make something appealing. But design can also be used to solve problems. Problems with life, problems with housing, problems with people. Maybe not so much the last one. But Stephen Ramos, in addition to being a local artist and architect here, is the active coordinator for the Architectural for Humanity Charleston branch, which is a group that tries to solve housing problems and community problems through design. It's all volunteer. They all put their own time in, and they all man up some pretty big projects in town, including the new Hub Design Competition, which is looking to install a new transportation and light rail system in Charleston. So please, keep that applause going for Stephen Ramos and Architecture for Humanity in Charleston.
Stephen!
My parents, they made the mistake of naming me Stephen with a PH, and it has haunted me my whole life. I came out 8th grade, graduation, Stephanie Ramos, perfect attendance, come on. But anyways, what does everybody here tonight have in common? Is it that we think that that's really awesome? Probably. But I think it's also that we're all in search for inspiration. And inspiration is kind of funny in that you never know where it's going to come from. In the fall of 2008, Cameron Sinclair came to visit Charleston, South Carolina to present the work of Architecture for Humanity, the nonprofit that proposes design solutions to humanitarian crises and provides pro bono design solutions to communities in need. It was that night where I had one of my kind of eureka moments, with the light bulb and the whole 9 yards. And I realized that this was something that I needed to get involved in. I've always enjoyed my profession and I will practice architecture until I keel over. But there's often something that's kind of missing from my everyday professional world, and that I don't often feel like I'm helping the people that need it the most. One of the things that we are very passionate about at Architecture for Humanity is the belief in the power of design. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, right? The power of design. It almost sounds like some sort of 80s after-school special that we used to watch. But it's true. We are very passionate that design can be used as a tool to improving the lives of others. And that's something that should be available to everyone. It's the people that are in this world that could benefit the most from a professional design, consequently, are the ones that can afford it the least. When resources are scarce, materials, money, technology, those are the times when good, creative, innovative thought can make a huge difference. So what is good design anyway? What does that look like? Is it functional? Is it practical? Is it durable?
Is it musical?
Is good design aesthetically pleasing? Is it sustainable? Well, the answer is it's all of those things. All of those things wrapped up into one, and that is something that should be available to everyone, not just the wealthy. One of the things that you'll notice from tonight's presentation is that I won't be showing you any buildings that our chapter of Architecture for Humanity has designed. And that's because we haven't designed any yet. We're actually working on our first one currently. But to be honest, for the majority of our brief 2-year nonprofit existence, our chapter is focused on one thing, and that one thing is listening and learning about our environment here in Charleston. When we first started the Charleston chapter, we had a huge challenge on our hands. That challenge was we had very quickly amassed a small army of local, eager designers and architects ready and willing to start designing buildings for people. But we didn't know where to start. It's kind of like the big pool and you don't know where to dive in. The people that we are most likely looking to help are people that are going to be focused on everyday, day-to-day activities, like putting food on the table and getting their kids to school. And they're probably not searching Craigslist looking for architects. So how do we find those people? Do we go door to door? We try to listen, and one strategy we've tried for listening is to talk to other nonprofits in the area. And we ask them questions about what they think their needs are for Charleston and the rest of the Low Country. Recently, we asked 15 local nonprofits a very brief 3-question survey. And in that survey, we asked them kind of very open-ended questions like, if you had a magic wand, what one thing would you change in Charleston? And what we found from that survey was that no matter what group we talked to, no matter if it was cycling advocates, or no matter if it was groups that were working with children with special needs, everybody was talking about access and better connection and transportation and super duper transportation and rail and light rail. So we had to think, what can we do about this? We were unsure if a small group of young architects could really make a difference about such a big issue. But then we started to think, well, what if it wasn't just our group? What if it was a group of 100 architects? Could we make a difference then? As a result of that survey, we created the Hub Design Competition. Right now, there are literally architects all over the world entered into this competition, and they will be proposing designs for a new downtown transit hub and a suburban light rail prototypical station. This competition is an opportunity for us to dream. It's an opportunity for us to dream about what Charleston could be. Imagine if you could ride via rail from your home in Somerville, Moncks Corner, Mount Pleasant, James Island, all the way to downtown Charleston. Imagine if that downtown transportation hub had a facility for cyclists where you could store your bike safely and use a locker room facility for cyclists that sweat a lot, like myself. And if we're going to have rail, why don't we put it right in the existing street grid where it will be most useful, thereby reducing automobile usage, carbon emissions, and making a safer, friendlier environment for Charlestons. These are really, really big dreams, but it was John Updike that said, dreams come true. Without that possibility, nature would not incite us to have them. And we are very confident that the work that is donated as part of this theoretical competition will go a long way into making rail in Charleston a reality. Architects for Humanity Charleston doesn't have an office right now. We don't even have really a phone. But what we do have is a network of really amazing individuals who are ready and willing to donate their time into making a better, sustainable future. But we need more help. You don't have to be an architect to join our crew. And we also need people to contact us with potential projects because we are constantly looking to do more. If you like my presentation and you like Pecha Kucha, I encourage you guys to come out September 16th. We're going to be having an event at the Hippodrome, Pecha Kucha style presentations by 7 local architects. So thanks for listening. Thanks to the Pecha Kucha folks for having us. That's it.
Stephen Ramos, everyone. Stephen, not Stephen, but Stephen. I apologize. Ayoko Lucas.